What's the deal? It's your boy J Nav back again for another solo edition of The Last Word. Not to talk about my boys in a negative way or anything, but sometimes I kind of like doing these solo shows, y'all, because I get to talk about things that are kind of obscure. Usually when you working with a group of people, you have to kind of share what you want to work on. Everybody gets to chime in, but when I get to roll solo like this, I can just talk about, things that, I kind of want to talk about with the group, but, we don't necessarily have time for. And today I'm going to be talking about the topic of tanking across sports, particularly in the field of basketball, because usually you see more tanking in basketball than in other sports. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to leave comments, like, subscribe to Last Word, just support us, man. So I'm going to delve right into it. So I'm kind of scientific with my approach to analyzing sports and sports topics, statistics. I like to use all of those things. So I'm going to start off with an informal definition of what tanking is in case you may not know. Tanking is basically deliberately losing or not giving one's best effort in order to gain what people consider a preconceived advantage, which is usually some sort of a draft pick. Basically, teams suck on purpose so that they can rebuild through the draft by hoping to collect a top draft pick. Now, as we know in the NBA, it goes by a lottery, so you're not necessarily guaranteed the top pick. It just increases your chances if you suck. So, and in the NFL, it's the worst team gets automatically gets the first round pick, and then if there are two teams with the same record, if I'm not mistaken, they settle it by a coin flip. Okay, so I'm against tanking. I think tanking is bad for three reasons. One, probably the most important reason to me, is that it undermines the whole purpose of competition. I always, when I think of competition, and while I always participate in sports, I always think of that famous audio soundbite from Herm Edwards when he was coaching the New York Jets. You play to win the game. For no other reason, fellas, ladies, if you are an athlete and you're a competitor, you compete to win, and to, not give it your all, or to just lose, just kind of go through the motions, that undermines the whole point of competing in athletic competition or field. So, I don't know why anybody would play other than to win. Even if you have a bad team, I'm gonna talk about some bad teams, or one in particular as I go through this. But just, you gotta compete when you're playing. You just have to give it your all. Nobody wants to sit up there and watch a team that's not giving it their all. So you got to play to win. That's just the way it works in sports. If you don't want to play to win, then once again, like Herm Edwards said, retire. Just get out. Don't waste nobody else's time. Just get out, take your money, take whatever else you got, and just quit. All right, well, the second point that I'm getting ready to make kind of segues from the first point. It cheats the fans. When you don't give your all, people who paying to watch these athletes play. Now, I just started to be able to afford, thank you, Lord. Lord's been opening up some avenues, make a little bit more money now. I get to go catch games. Me and Carlos from Uneducated Sports Talk, we go catch a game every now and then. We've caught a baseball game, we caught a basketball game, and we plan to catch other professional games together. But, man, we work hard for our money, man. So we want to see, athletes go out there and do the best they can. Not tank. We want to see, even if, like I said, even if you don't have the best players or you're having a bad season, you still should give it your all. I feel cheated if I'm going to a game and, the players out there just lollygagging for all intents and purposes. And my final point that I have is, let's say you do tank. Let's say you end up with the worst record. Let's say you get that first round draft pick. Well, that doesn't guarantee future success. A lot of teams think, well, we can get the hottest commodity out of college. That's going to turn our franchise around. Not necessarily. There are busts. Some players, get overrated. Some players don't live up to expectations. It's not easy living up to grand expectations, Very few do, to be honest, I mean, LeBron James is one guy that comes to mind when you think of, highly touted. He probably was the most hyped high school athlete ever, at least up to this point. And, it took him a while to even win a championship. So he had to get some help. So even that, getting that top pick does not guarantee anything. You still have to go out there and put in the work. You still have to come up with some sort of winning formula. You still have to have the right players around that one player. So just trying to, to me, it's taking an easy way out, thinking like a get-rich-quick scheme. It's kind of like that. You're looking for the easiest way to get to the top, and usually the teams that are successful, they've took the time to build a winning culture from owner down to the, the vice president of, whatever, basketball, football operations, pretty much the person who deals with player personnel, down to the coach. Then it's down to the players. But you notice how I went from, highest to lowest on the totem pole, Of course, you need talent to win, but at the same time, the whole organization has to be, moving in the same direction, one accord, one direction. You need you need some top leaders, Now, you may be thinking, well, Josh, why are you talking about tanking? They got all this other stuff you could be talking about, all these other, they got the Shaquille O'Neal, JaVale McGee thing going on. You got, the Warriors crushing people right now. They rolling. You got all the talk of Carmelo, this and that, and the third. They trying to get him out of New York. You could be talking about all that other stuff, but you want to talk about tanking. Well, I have a good reason. My team, the Miami Heat, at one point, we were 11-30. I say we because that's my squad. I don't play for them, but that's my squad. I'm a rep. They were 11-30. Last time I checked right now, they're probably the hottest team in the NBA. They just come fresh off a 12-game winning streak, which includes victories over the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets twice, two teams that are, in at least I would say the top 5 in the NBA. And they've done all of this, with injuries. Lost Justice Winslow for the season, lost Josh McRoberts for the season. Goran Dragic been in and out. Dion Waiters, same thing. Wayne Ellington, Hassan Whiteside, Tyler Johnson, Luke Babbitt, Chris Bosh, we know the deal with him. Josh Richardson have all missed some time at one point or another throughout the season, and that kind of led to the 11-30. But there were talk of people saying, hey, they should tank. They should go and get a draft pick. Not to mention we lost Dwayne Wade in free agency. Not to mention we lost LeBron a couple of off season ago as well when he decided to go back to Cleveland. We had every reason to tank, but they hung in there. They always played hard, and now they went from having the second worst record in NBA to being a game and a half outside of the playoff race in the East. Now, I don't want to hear none of this where they play in the East, they should get that doesn't really count for something. The point I'm trying to make is, this team had every reason to pack it in, but they kept playing. And now look at them now. They've won 14 out of their last 16 games. They've beat some top opponents that I just mentioned. And it's all because of, the organization. They've won championships. They have Pat Riley, who's won many championships. They have Coach Eric Spoelstra. I'm willing to say that Eric Spoelstra right now should be up there in the Coach of the Year topics for what he's had to deal with from having lack of player personnel and all the injuries, and keeping this team fighting. That's not easy to do, but that just shows you that goes to show you the culture down there in Miami. They went from 11-30. Now I want to say they're about 25-32, 26-32, somewhere in there, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, sitting a game and a half outside of the playoff race. So you may be thinking, hey, they probably should have just packed it in and got that draft pick. No. This is, like I said, it's all about winning. It's all about winning. It's all about playing to win. A high draft pick does not guarantee you success in the long run. All it means is that you probably will get a top talent, coming out, but that doesn't guarantee success. You still have to have the right people and personnel in place to cultivate and, mature that success and to get the ball rolling. It just doesn't happen overnight. You can't just plug players together and expect things to work. So that's my take. That's my take on tanking. Let me know what you guys think of tanking. Is tanking, are there some good things that can come from tanking? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I want to start getting some more feedback for some of our listeners. So y'all feel free to comment, in the comment box. And I'm going to catch y'all later. This is The Last Word. Peace out.